goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
So,
good enough for Robin.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
and listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot, up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Tonight, we analyze, dig deep, and share our own picks for the greatest cover songs of all time as we highlight WXPN's 385 list.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be
Your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, joined by...
Dan Drago.
Nate Runkel.
And you are listening to...
Your
Next
Favorite.
Band.
And... Yo, that's My Jawn. And 25 o'clock. How phenomenal is this?
Intercontinental once again, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are somehow all sorts of time zones.
Yes.
You're actually tomorrow some sort of...
It's 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning now where I am in beautiful My Jawn in Hong Kong.
Yeah, actually, you gave me a video. Here, take a look.
Yeah.
This is right out the video. This is right out the window
this is my
of Dan
terrace.
Drago. Right. But the view he has is this. And there's a massive dog barking going on right there.
There's always dogs, but everyone has dogs, and they're all small, except for the ones that aren't. And
never a truer word was said.
All dogs are small, except for the ones that are not.
Except for the non-small ones.
Yeah. But no, that's the view outside my terrace right there. That's me looking at the at the bay behind Lantau Island. That's my island of My Jawn, looking at the village. In real life, it is not as pixely.
I like to call it Drago Island.
I like to call it My Jawn. Sorry, I'm still doing Borat.
No, that joke has been made multiple times.
As it should
already.
Good.
Yeah,
as it should.
But yeah, it's in the 70s. It'll be in the 70s today, which is on the cooler side for Hong Kong. And yeah, I get to celebrate Christmas with absolutely no snow. You know the Bing Crosby Melikaliki Maka song about Hawaii? That's kind of what I'm going to be living. But I love that song, so here we are.
And Nate, how are you doing?
I'm cold. It's not 70 degrees.
It is.
So I feel like that was like a humble brag, but whatever, Dan. That's cool.
Yes.
No, I'm doing good. Living the dream. Just getting ready for this holiday season of festivities.
Of something,
Yeah, trying to stay out of trouble.
And then, are you still part of? How many podcasts are you connected to at this point?
Well, technically 3. But I've on Too Old Too New with Nate and Bruce, and on Yo That's My Jawn, releases have been very sporadic, and I've been doing that for my own mental health. So.
Listen, you gotta focus on yourself.
That's right.
Quality over quantity, Nate. Quality over quantity.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And quick little, I guess this won't even be a humble brag. On our show, Your Next Favorite Band, we did our annual Winter Wonder Jam this past weekend, 4th annual at Godfrey Daniels. And the population of the audience went from, in year one, 20, 35, 50, and this year, over 85 people were jammed into that room.
Sold out.
We sold out Godfrey Daniels
Hell yeah.
That's
on a
amazing.
Saturday
That's
night
amazing.
in December. Loved
When
it.
everyone's got 900 other things to do.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's outstanding. I told this to you when I was messaging you privately. I said, you did it. You grew the thing. And that's about how long it takes sometimes to
Sure.
grow the thing.
Yeah.
You got to be patient.
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
dude.
So,
It's so cool.
yeah, thanks. And I think so now next year I get to say, get your tickets early. We
sold out last year.
So, but this year the lineup was Brett Cull with a dynamite gaggle of musician humans that he put together. That was amazing. Ray Weston, who is also from Echolin, and then Katie Barbado and Ava Left. They did an amazing lineup of music. Some holidays, some of each one of theirs. They're each songwriters in their own right. Zoe Lemon. So Philly was well represented at the Winter Wonder Jam this year. And then also Doogie Horner was the comedian that kind of kicked everything off. And it was awesome. And it's one of those things where we might just share some highlights.
Phil, did you get to meet Simon, who was in the audience?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this or not, but Simon Godfrey of Tiny Fish was in the audience.
What?
Yeah. He posted some pictures from the show.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
Well, again, I hope I met him. And if not, let's definitely connect at some point.
He's an awesome dude. Really awesome dude.
And we already have some people chiming in. Hello from Feasterville. Mike Egan was my guest co-host last week on the pre-jam.
Oh, hey.
So hello, Mike. Thank you for tuning in. If anyone else tuning in, this is going to be a fun episode. I think, Dan, you hit it on the head where you had said we're going to get real nerdy.
Oh, it's going to be. That's why I look forward to this. It's just like
yes, this is our third year doing this,
and this is our second. Did we do it? No, I did it from home last year.
Correct.
You and I have collabed since I got to Hong Kong. Had the three of us done something?
Yeah, we did the festival.
We did. We do.
Right.
Yeah, we do the summer
year.
Festival banter episode.
Yeah. Those things are fun, and they give me something to like feel connected back to home.
Absolutely. And I love that we now have these like basically semi-annual collabos. One for the WXPN list and the other one for what's coming up in the summertime. So like, subscribe, and follow to all three shows so you can get the info on this stuff happening. But let's share with the audience just a little bit of kind of like anybody who might be tuning in to either this live stream or a podcast version of this on demand, where they may not even know WXPN or what this 885 list is all about. Nate, why don't you?
Did I lose you?
And then kind of layer in.
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
back.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry about that. Just give a summary of kind of like what this list is and kind of how we get to this point.
Yeah, sure. So every year, WXPN 88.5 here in beautiful, freezing Philadelphia does a countdown. Some years it'll just be like an A to Z, but primarily it's usually an 885 song countdown voted on by the listeners of the station. They've done things like greatest songs. They've done greatest songs by women. They've done what was last year's
Millennium.
The millennium. That's right. Greatest songs of the millennium. They've done albums and stuff like that. This year they decided to do 885 greatest cover songs, and as voted by you. And it's been an experience listening to this for sure, because I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the listeners of the station, and I hope we all make it through together.
We will.
I'm just adding Instagram. Dan, anything you want to add to that?
I have been largely out of the, like, I haven't heard much of the countdown. I've been trying to keep up on stuff on socials. It's not even so much the time difference. I can stream XPN through xpn.org or through they have an app as well. I can stream it here in Hong Kong very, very easily. But I've had a lot going on, but I've been trying to keep track of stuff through other people's socials, and I try and check in with the list in my evening. It's a lot of surprises, and I think a lot of things that are probably happening to all the listeners is they'll hear a song, and the first thing a lot of people probably say is like, "Oh, I didn't know that was because there are certain covers out there that are so ubiquitous with artists that you associate them. It's like, well, that's clearly theirs.
Well, even
Nate,
some of the ones on your lists,
Yeah.
when you submitted your top 10, I was like, I didn't know that was a cover. And I think there's elements to that we'll definitely get into. Let me just bring up the WXPN site so that we can kind of share. This is the running list. This was basically, I forwarded it all the way back to 885. Which I think it's amazing that the Pointer Sisters were 885. But anyway,
you guys want to know a little inside factoid?
Do it.
We learned this on the most recent episode of Too Old Too New. I asked Bruce, how many votes does it take to get to be number 885?
Oh, I love
and
this.
The answer is 11 votes. But so when you vote, for the people who don't know, it is ranked choice voting. So your first song on your list counts for more than your last song on your list. So he didn't say how many points it got, but 11 votes got you onto the countdown this year.
That's cool. Very cool. Thank you for inside WXPN.
That's what I'm here for, man.
Details. All right. So I'm just going to kind of roll through this. If you guys want to, hop on any one of these, either one that was on your list.
I love
or something
that Weird Al ends up with a polka on there because,
Yes.
technically everything Weird Al does, most things Weird Al does, he does write original songs, but are covers. But of course, they're parody
They're
covers.
parodies
so,
with
But this one, straight up Bohemian
No,
Rhapsody.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
That's a straight up cover of Bohemian Rhapsody in polka style, and it is
Right.
glorious.
It is. It super is.
Yeah,
Miles Davis covered Time After Time. That's
It
fantastic.
sure did. It sounds amazing.
I'm sure it did. Holy smokes.
Any Deadheads out there are, of course, very much familiar with the Dead and Dylan period, where the Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan went on tour together, and there's a fantastic official live album of that, and tons of bootlegs. If one was ever interested.
Yeah.
He's just moving around. What
Yep. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Now
keep
the
chatting.
Residents cover of Satisfaction. That's right. Ben Folds' Tiny Dancer.
Yep. Unfortunately,
There-
I always
stop.
love it if
Go
there's like
back.
go back.
Go back.
All right. I want to show you my favorite thing that happened so far, and that is right there at 795. David Bowie and Bing Crosby doing Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
And I love that it's the Trap family. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll get more into this in the second hour when we all start breaking down like our selection processes. But there are some things I'm already seeing right here where I'm just like, I don't think that should be on the list, not because it's not a great cover, but because we'll get into the reasons
That's
later.
a good point, Dan.
Wow.
So we're going to
Don't
have
get
some
me started.
Wow. Well,
There's
we'll
one
get,
of mine.
I think we're going to
746.
get each of us started in that. The first kind of 45 of this show is going to be this. Like, we're kind of giving you what the detail is about, some of the excerpts here, and some WXPN on-air talent has graciously agreed to join us, and we're going to go into their personal lists as well as what they think of the lineup so far. The second half of this show will be where you and all three of us start to share our picks and what we feel like should have been kind of the parameters of what would justify something making the list.
Well, let me do a little back selling here and get people ready and excited. Not only are we going to talk about what we think should be the parameters, we're going to talk about the parameters that they created that they didn't fucking follow. Okay.
That sounds right.
Okay. So get ready, buckle up. You're in for a ride, my friends.
Way to tease it,
God.
Nate. I do love this, where like the same cover song
in a row. That's happened a couple of times. I've seen a couple of like back-to-back ones.
I do love that though.
Yeah.
Anything else jumping out at you here?
A little back-to-back Tom Petty in there happened.
There we go.
Yep.
I love Yola Tango. Any Yola Tango cover I'm into. There's a whole record that they put out called Fake Book that's all covers and all like kind of deep cut catalog stuff for them. It's if you're a Yola Tango fan, you already know about it. But
Phil, you want to do something for me for our buddy Dan here? I need you to go up, scroll up.
Yeah.
And I need you to click on
Most covered?
Yes. No. Is top artists.
I knew it would be Dylan.
Top artists.
And I have
I need you to look
commentary
at
on that.
Artist by Airtime, my friend, at number 2. Because our friends in Fish only have 5 songs on this countdown.
Sure. I was thinking of that.
I on purpose included no Fish covers on my list. And
asterisk.
no. Fish covers by the band Fish.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no asterisk right there.
Okay, yeah, fine.
You take your asterisk.
I do love, like, I would
Picking up
never,
your asterisk.
at this point, I never would have guessed that This Must Be the Place by the Talking Heads would have been the leader in the clubhouse. At this moment.
in
Blackbird
terms of
makes some
themes to be covered?
sense.
Yeah.
This is the song's most covered on the list. Artists most covered. Again,
Dylan
I think
makes
this
sense.
speaks to Dylan being an amazing songwriter that actually has a terrible voice, and people are like, "Can I please just give me the mic?" And then they just
Stones are at 12. Yeah, Stones
Same
at
kind of
12
thing
at
there.
number 5.
Yeah.
And I have a hot take.
Neil
about the
Young, not a
Stones
great
later.
voice either.
There
And I'm
should
not
be
trying
more
to
more Kate Bush covers.
Yeah, I'm not trying to poo-poo them. I'm more saying, like, it's kind of like speaking to their brilliance as songwriters, that people are like, I want to put my kind of
Number 4. I missed it. The Ramones' "California Sun" was very close to ending up on my list.
It's a good one.
That's a big song for me.
Phil, I just saw your former guest, the Polyphonic Spree, on there.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I was so excited to
Tell
have
yourself.
Tim DeLauder on there.
Hey, look, and there's one of my former guests. There was a little 311 there.
I listened to that episode recently.
Oh, the Hooters with their cover of "Boys of Summer" by Don Henley. I've had Dave on the show.
Yeah, former guests in the howl.
He was just recently on John Kim Faye's as well.
He was. It's a great interview.
It really is.
I have been listening to John Faye's talk. I've always been a listener of John Faye's Talking at the Diner podcast.
Yeah.
That's a podcast out there for anyone listening. If you need another like Philly-centered music podcast, and you do, I cannot recommend John Faye's Talking at the Diner podcast. It is what it sounds like. He invites a musician to the diner, and they have a meal and talk. I got to do it once. John's a friend. I've known him for a long time. He gets amazing conversations because let me tell you, everyone's guard drops when you start eating. When you start eating,
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that happens too is, like, since he's such a musician, like they just get into this 2 musicians talking to each other, and it also kind of allows that conversation where they probably just forget there's a microphone there. But a couple other people tuning in. Nicole is tuning in. And then she even agrees. Thank you. That Bob's voice is an inspiration to do covers. Let's just put it that way. We'll stay positive.
I don't know. I think it's low hanging fruit to go after Bob Dylan's voice. Like it's not everyone sings mellifluously. You know, everyone there. It's distinct. You know, it's Bob. And I will say this as a musician, and I'm sure Nate might be able to back me up on this. I rarely do Bob Dylan covers because when I do a Bob Dylan cover, you spend most of your brain energy not doing a Bob Dylan impression.
Sure, right.
I can't do
really
Blowing
hard.
in the Wind without going, Yisin?
Yeah, it's Bob and Tom Petty. And whenever I do Tom Petty covers, I have to focus. I'm like, you're not doing a Tom Petty bit. You're
that's interesting. Other than You Don't Know How It Feels is the only one where I find myself doing a Petty impression, but all the others, like it's kind of in my range, and so
it's tough because like those are 2 singers right there that have very distinctive, voices, very distinctive cadences and turns of phrase, and just the way they do things. And when you're singing those as covers, I'm sure other musicians, if they're in the chat, they can chime in. You try so hard not to do like an impression. Like if you're singing like a Chuck Berry song, you're just like, okay, but I'm not going to do Chuck Berry. Like I'm not going to do Prince. I'm going to try and be me. But like Dylan is nearly impossible.
Correct. So let's get to one of our guests.
Yes.
Super honored to have Wendy Rollins joining us from WXPN. Welcome to the show, Wendy.
Hi. Hello.
Hello there. And thank you not only for coming on, but for all you do year round, and then for today specifically, basically fighting travel snarls and traffic, still to make it on.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those. If I make a commitment, I'm gonna figure out a way. Just as an aside, folks, this morning I was I was in Atlanta, and now I'm in Philadelphia. So, but I almost wasn't. But I'm
But here we are.
Here we are.
And thank you for that. So tell us what you think. Let's start with just the kind of the list in general. This is an annual thing that WXPN does. They look for everybody to submit a top 10 list of a certain type of category. This year was cover songs. But what does this kind of like initiative and the response from the listening community mean to you and to the station?
Oh, I mean, we love it because like it's really easy to make your own personal decisions. It's really easy to be like, oh, I like this, I don't like that. But like when you're forced to really sit down and narrow it down, I think is when you're like, wait, how much do I really like that song? And then like, do I like it more than this song? It's got so many spaces, you know? And likewise, putting everybody else in that mindset, you know, it's really interesting because sometimes things come across that you're like, really?
Right.
It, you know, it can be a little bit of a tool of research, you know, for radio as well, because you may find things where, yeah, this is done for fun, but it can also be a little educational, if you will.
Sure, absolutely. I always find every year, and we'll get into this later on when the three of us are going to arm wrestle over who has the right list, but I always have to come up with a whole extra layer of rules in order for me to cull it down to 10. Because it's always just like, I'm always at about 50 or 60. And then I'm like, all right, I have to self-inflict a rule to say, all right, this is now what would elevate something to the top 10 of my personal opinion. So I agree with you how difficult it is because every year it's like, I think it's so well curated. Like the prompt is so specific enough, yet, you know, not specific to allow you to really kind of encompass the fact that you're going to capture obviously more than 885 songs so that you can have this be this top. So I think that's amazing. So let's bring up your list so that you can kind of talk us through how you maybe did yours. Okay. If you don't mind. Now, I understand there may be a story to this, but if you want to go from 10 to 1, but anyway, how like you kind of came down to the decisions around your top 10.
Well, the first thing I'll tell you is I kind of remove a rule for myself in that I'm going to give you a top 10, but I'm not going to give you a top 10 in order because I just, for the love of God, I can't get through it. So you have my top 10 in no specific order. I could give you a 1 if pressed. But that being said, these are my top 10 in no particular order. Hazy Shade of Winter from the Bangles on a personal level, you know, as a young girl when that came out, an all-female band. Later on came to find that I love Simon and Garfunkel, but they ripped that song. I mean, like,
and it was part of like an iconic movie at the time. It really just owned the moment.
And so for my generation, like there's the attachment right there. Sure. Like as soon as they come with that, I was like, ooh, it's dark. And, you know, and that's kind of like right up my alley. Like if you make something like heavy and dark or just miserably sad, I'm all in.
That'll be next year. 885 miserably sad songs.
Yeah, I'll be like Radiohead.
That's a list I wouldn't be able to whittle down. I would literally have 885 of my own.
Same.
Maybe we don't do that in December. During sad season. Maybe we find a different time to do it.
It's the worst. The Elvis Costello track just. It sounds like the closing credits to everything to me. Like it's the wrap up. I love the way they went with that one. It's the opposite, you know, it's just bright. It's things may have gone wrong, but I'm taking the high road on this. And I love kind of how they brought that levity to that song. The Jack White cover, a lot of people don't know about that one. It was on a soundtrack. It was kind of buried. But I'm a Jack White fan. I'm a U2 fan. And I'm pretty sure when he recorded that one, he was going through a divorce. You can hear in the recording, it sounds really personal. So I feel like that's a great one. That Joe Cocker track is unstoppable.
It's on my list too.
Yep.
Yeah. I would wager that one ends up pretty high on the countdown.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely top 10, if not top 5.
Yeah.
And as someone a little younger than you and Phil, I grew up watching Wonder Years, so like that was my introduction to the Joe Cocker version.
Yeah, and I feel like when that choir hits, like it may as well be every audience member listening to it singing along. You know, I mean, it's just one of those that like everybody feels like they can be a part of that track. He just made it so big.
It's a true example too of and I'll talk about this more in the next time. The transformative cover.
Correct.
Yes.
If you didn't even like, it barely follows the original melody. The feel and time, the rhythm is completely different. It is a complete. It's almost completely different song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's likewise so ragged with it in his.
Oh, totally. I feel like someone was like, "All right, Joe, we got an idea for you. Go get wicked drunk, and come back in here like your life depended on. You had to be the most 10 out of 10 emotive and loud as F.
Yeah.
And then we're going to record that in one shot." And he'll be like, "I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 6 hours."
Already. No. For Joe Cocker at that era, already there.
Yeah, exactly. As he literally puts the cigarette out on the floor.
Right.
Studio.
Let's go.
So that's a great one. The Tori Amos cover, that one was used in my wedding. I'm partial to that one. I know she personally is a huge Led Zeppelin fan, so she really wanted to handle that one with kid gloves. And I think the respect for the song definitely comes across, but also her take on it. I think she was kind of bold enough to like give it its own wings.
Sure.
So I really love that version. Muse with Feeling Good. I think in my original write-up, I was like, I think if Nina Simone heard this, she would hate it.
I do love that kind of analysis too of like, would the original artist love this version or hate it? And I don't know if I even have it. I almost want them to hate it. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure Ringo isn't exactly doing cartwheels on the Joe Cocker one, but
I just feel like it was just so unexpected coming from Muse, frankly. And sometimes I feel like it's great for a band to kind of shout out another artist to their audience and be like, hey, this is a band that we really love. You should check them out too. We're gonna do this track. You should check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's how a lot of us discovered things, was exactly that, with bands even before the internet, when bands would just name check a band in a Rolling Stone interview. I was certainly the kid like running around being like, all right, who, like when Nirvana would like talk about the raincoat, I'm like, all right, who are the Raincoats? And like running around and figuring it out. Yeah.
Yes. And that was one of those situations. I mean, I love Nina Simone, but Muse just absolutely turned it on its end. Sometimes I like when an artist stays true to form. Not exactly. I feel like you should spice it up a little bit. But they like going in with full guitars and everything, bold. All along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix. I'll admit, I was the kid back in the day that was like, that's not his song. Wait, what?
Is that legal?
Go ahead.
No, I was saying like that's what you could say as a kid. You're like, are they allowed to do that?
Yeah. I feel like that song was so synonymous with him that I was just like, wait, I mean, I knew when U2 did it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know. But I thought it was Jimmy's. So an extraordinary performance from him. I think it's one of those that he kind of made his own. And that's a testament to him as an artist. Jeff Buckley, Hallelujah.
Yes.
I don't know who's had time to look at the host lists before we did the countdown, before we even started the countdown, the host lists were posted. And of course, being the nosy person that I am, I'm like, what did they write down? Yeah.
Right.
So, and that was one of the ones I saw over and over and over.
Another teaser. I'm going to have a massive take on this song later.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
actually, not only I didn't put it on my list, and I think Nate, it's on yours, right?
Yes. It's oh my God. Yeah.
When I posted my list, I had people call me out saying anybody who doesn't include "Hallelujah" by Jeff Buckley is a sus list, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe you should tune in and hear my take.
Well, it's true.
No. We'll talk about it later.
We'll get there.
Well, see, I come from the opposite ground of like, hey, man, if it's not for you, it's not for you.
True.
I normally do, not on this one though.
I only have 10. There's only 10. I only have 10. Like decisions have to be made, but bodies need to be left behind. Like it needs to happen.
You got 10 seats on that boat, and that's it.
Sorry.
Wendy, did you watch the Buckley documentary yet?
Yes. I actually did see it in the theater. I was one of those.
Oh,
I'm a hardcore
It's
fan.
in the queue for me. I showed the preview to my family. I was like, we have to watch this because I'm a massive Jeff Buckley fan. So that's the other part we have to like put out on the table first. But anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. I mean, again, I just think I love even the way that song is recorded. The fact that you can hear him cut everything on. It's one of those moments that a pin will drop at any point that you're playing that song. It just has people wrapped with attention. And it's a timeless cut. I feel like I've been in a couple of situations, on the radio where you're like, you have to announce something very heavy or something, 9/11, I was broadcasting. And how do you talk about this? Mm-hmm. What do you like when you come back from news coverage? What's appropriate?
Sure,
and if you have an artist that can share an emotion like that people can not only emote but feel calmed by at the same time, you're tapping into the good stuff. Yep. And so I feel like that song is something special, not to take away in any way from Leonard Cohen, because his poetry, his lyrics, that's the artistry.
Sure, absolutely.
Jeff's voice, Leonard's words, and you have to recognize the both. The Sinead O'Connor track is actually a lot of people, not a lot of people, a couple of folks were like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Sinead O'Connor did a cover album, and she had that song on there, but the actual song is titled Success, and it was from Loretta Lynn. And so she kind of did her own take on that. I appreciated that album for many reasons. First of all, just like I think it really showcased her. She was doing a lot of these very old songs that I don't think people thought like somebody like Sinead O'Connor would be interested in. And I think it showed her range, her capabilities, and her artistry. But that particular song, there's a lot in the vocals where you will hear rage, you will hear desperation, you will hear sadness. And it just like, it's a really, like, it's storytelling the way she does it.
Sure.
So that one I love. And The Damned, that song has been covered a million times. There's just something about that particular, I don't know if it's guitar tone. I don't know what it is, but it's just, it's very melancholy. And as I said earlier, like, hey, if you're a sad kid, let me get on that ride. So I like that one.
Awesome. So obviously, just one quick thing with this list before I take it down, because I'm feeling cramped over here. So we mentioned the Joe Cocker song, the Jeff Buckley song, as being probably in the top 5 and 10, if not perhaps even some of the number ones. Any other songs not from your list you're feeling predictive about for the top 10?
Well, let's say this. Do you know the list? Have you peeked?
No.
Okay.
No. Look, I'm the kid, like, because it's that time of year. Like, I get mad if I see a Christmas present before I don't like any spoilers.
That's how I learned there was no Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm such a bummer.
It
Yeah,
was last year, Nate. It was very sad.
I'm still let down. No, I do not know what the final list is, but I don't think there's other ones off the top of my head that I would immediately claim like this has to be top 5. If it's
Sure.
not, you know.
Got it.
And even mine, I mean, that's just me. Some of those probably won't even end up on the list, and I'm like, that's cool. I still like.
Oh, it totally is cool. That's what's beautiful about the list. If you get like 2 or 3 that make the 885, you're usually pumped. So it's like that's some of the beauty of this.
I think
whole
I'm
process.
at 7 right now, not to brag, but whatever, guys.
I've lost track. I was just very impressed that one of my out of nowhere ones ended up in the lower. Like,
I'm just
700.
thrilled Ace Frehley made the list. That's awesome.
Hell
but
yeah.
we're gonna get into that one later. But I know Hazy Shade of Winter wasn't actually your number 1, but we do have that here to play things out. Which of these tracks would have been your number 1?
Jeff Buckley.
Okay.
Well, here is not Jeff Buckley.
Okay. Man, I love
No, listen. I was just going off the list. This is still just an amazing track, and it's a great way to play things out. Wendy, thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thanks, Wendy.
And playing things out from your top 10, we'll at least say. Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles.
We used to be a cool society with music videos, man. We fucking didn't know how good we had it.
I like the use of sleigh bells. I think it's seasonally appropriate.
That's too much. We were supposed to let that play nicely, and you just talked over the top.
Oh,
of
I
it.
thought we were supposed to talk over it so the bots didn't. Yeah, I thought we were supposed to block the bots.
So the bots don't take it down.
You got about 60 seconds to just let it fly, but
Okay. I'm sorry.
and there was Iron Man. People, not recognize
Iron
Robert
Oh,
Downey
yeah.
Jr. in his cocaine phase. I'm talking about the movie, of course.
Yeah.
But incredible track, great pick.
Yeah, that's
Kind of surprised I didn't pick this one too. This would have been right up my alley. And like she said, owned the zeitgeist at the time.
Oh yeah. It's such an interesting decision to like turn this song into like to put a guitar riff in that song, which is like that. Simon and Garfunkel are good for a lot of things. Catchy guitar riffs. I mean, with the exception of like maybe Cecilia or something like that. That's not what you think of with them. But like the Bangles went big, and I don't think get nearly the credit that they deserve for like 1980s rock. Like they went big. Them and the Go-Go's like really should be much higher up there in the pantheon.
I wrote a screenplay about a burned out hippie who wanted to be elected as God. He was running a campaign to be God, and one of his traits was that he was addicted to girl groups from the 80s. And Bananarama and the Bangles.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of options. It's lovely.
And one of the things that happened in one of the closing scenes was someone turned him on to the Spice Girls, and his whole fucking head exploded. Not like literally exploded, but like he was.
No, it's like scanners right there. There you go.
I think it probably should explode. Let's just jump right back to the countdown real quick, just because we were at like 300 and something to keep kind of strolling down this list. See if anything else jumps out before we bring on our next guest.
And the Chocolate Drops doing Hit 'Em Up Style. That's a goddamn banger right there.
Yep, that's a good one. Oh, Nora Jones's Jesus Etc. is a good cover.
Have you heard the Margaret Glaspie Nora Jones duet on Jesus Etc.? It just came out on Margaret Glaspie's EP.
And that Amy Mann Beatles cover is up there for me.
Totally.
That's on the I Am Sam soundtrack, which is like all Beatles covers. Sort of a lackluster movie, didn't quite hit the way they wanted it to hit, but the soundtrack is all Beatles covers, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Lizzie, yeah.
We're into the 200s here.
Yep. That's right. Most people don't know Los Lobos' most famous song is Richie
Valens.
Richie
I mean, it was
Valens.
even for the movie about his life.
Yeah.
So I'm agreeing with you, though, that most people don't know that, but they probably should.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Things are moving. All right, what are we up to now? Oh man, the Van Halen cover of "Pretty Woman" was when I was learning guitar at the wee old age of 13. My guitar teacher gave me that version to learn how to play the riff instead of the Roy Orbison version. I don't under. Well, it was 1992 or 3, so it makes sense. But to this day, every time I hear that song, I'm like, why did he give me that one?
He was challenging you.
I think he was just oh man, Townes Van Zandt. Oh, we want to talk about sad darkness. Any Townes Van Zandt song, cover or otherwise, but his cover of Dead Flowers is really, really good.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. Tom Jones' Kiss cover of the Prince song is one of the 2 types of covers that make my list, where it just completely reimagines the whole thing, even if you hate it.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's I appreciate. It didn't make my list, but I do appreciate that kind of approach to the cover.
I want you to take a look right there at the strength of Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Come through.
The Husker Du cover of 8 Miles High almost made my list.
And there we are. This is where we are at right now. We're at
Where did we
121.
Police on My Back. I have a Clash cover on my list. It's not that one, but I went back and forth between like maybe 3 Clash covers because I think the Clash do covers very, very well.
Sure, absolutely.
I ended up picking a different one about the Police, but
I imagine a lot of them were. Yeah. So we're going to bring on guest number 2. Honored to also bring on to the show today from WXPN, Raina Duras. Hello, Raina.
Gosh, I'm so far down here. Okay.
There you are.
How are you?
We're good.
That's my thumb. There you go.
And now we saw your thumbprint. We can basically do like a CSI investigation. Yeah.
Raina, is that a University of Pennsylvania barcode on that microphone right there?
Yeah, it is. I definitely didn't take this from work.
No, definitely not.
I think if you work for a radio station and a couple of things don't end up in your house as a borrowed situation, I think they're going to look at you more suspect than.
Yeah, this is all from like COVID when they sent us home to work remotely.
Sure.
So I just kind of kept it set up this whole time.
Yeah, smart.
That's absolutely smart. So that it can, you never know when that need to stay from home will happen again.
It's true, exactly.
Don't put that out there, Phil. God damn it.
Phil.
It could be any reason. What if I'm waiting
could
for
be
like
weather related?
Sniffles. Delivery.
That's the world we live in now. It's a much easier. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work from home today. Anyway, Raina, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we asked this question before, and I think it would be a fun thing to get your take on it as well. Is what just does this list, this initiative, this kind of like putting this out there, hearing from the community, what does it mean to you, and what does it kind of mean to your show, the station, all that good stuff?
I mean, my favorite thing about it is that it's something that like most stations would never do. You end up hearing really weird, awesome stuff. You get those really strange transitions between songs. One of my favorite things. But I mean, I love, one of my favorite things about the countdown every year really is the conversation around it, how active everybody gets talking about it. It's the one time of year that I get to spend a bunch of time in like the Discord and talk to people. And it's fun getting to talk about this stuff, And on my show specifically, since we aren't live and it's like pre-recorded because we have to send it out all over the place. This is like a time when I get to sort of engage in that live side of things.
Sure, absolutely.
People and I get to be on, helping with the countdown. And it's just like, I don't know, it's so much fun. It's one of my favorite things we do all year long.
It's funny you mentioned the live thing too, because and this is, I swear to God, not me picking favorites and not me just saying this because you're here, but seriously, both you and Kaleo fucking understand the assignment, man. Like you totally like are dialed in on not just doing your job, but also like you're in the chats, you're hanging out, you're joking,
It's
and
fun.
even on the mic.
Sure,
I mean, like
absolutely.
you're loving it, and it definitely comes across.
It takes me back to my old radio days when I would take like phone calls on air and stuff. Like I love that. And I miss that part. And it's
I used to do that too.
Is so much fun.
Yeah. What I like about what you say about the conversation is that like it reminds at least those of us who care to be reminded of this, that all of you at XPN and all of us who listen to XPN, just like especially those of you who work there, it's your job, it's your profession. But like you guys are there because you're such big music nerds. That's why like you all won the lottery for jobs, where it's just
true.
like. So when these lists come in and you get to have that fun, good-natured back and forth, like, oh, what's on your list? What's on my list? Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of like, that's in all our DNA right there.
Totally.
To like sit around. We would be doing this at a bar, like if you weren't doing this on the radio.
Absolutely. I mean, my sister and my brother-in-law who live in Canada, they have like a betting pool going. Listening to XPN. You know, they don't have to listen, but they are listening. And like it's turned into this thing like now that like when it comes up, they're like, okay, get your lists in. We got to get our lists in. You know, we've got a point system.
I was about to say there has to be a tiered point system, almost like Final Four basketball or something like that, where like, and now here's where you get your money and all that. That's got to be great.
There's a bracket.
A bunch of people in the chat and we did a fantasy draft last year of songs from the 2000s. And like that got massive, but like I nailed the number one or number two as being number two, Mr. Brightside, and I'm still feeling good about that, but not as good. And I think it might have happened during your set. Do you remember during the A to Z 90s A to Z when Tim shot called when somebody tell me what was the song? Somebody in the chat has to remember. What song Tim like down to the minute knew when something was going to play and said it like from the beginning of. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I cannot remember what song it was. Yeah. But I do remember the like. Oh my God, there it is. Like,
yeah, and back to that point about the Discord and how you're interacting with people. Amanda in the chat says we feel like you're interacting with us and not just talking at us.
Oh well, thank you. I mean that's how it feels for me too. So I'm happy to hear that. Guys, my cat is meowing to get out of this door.
Let him in.
Sorry. No, she wants out.
Oh, out.
Go, get out of here. She just meowed to get in right as we were starting.
Oh, that's so funny.
I knew that would happen.
Cats don't do that though, right? They're not.
No.
Yeah, that's so unlike a cat.
They're usually so stable in their desires.
Yeah, and not wanting doors open and closed. They're usually totally fine with that. All right, so we just talked about the lists. Here's your list, and then let's have you take us through it.
Okay, well, I mean, where do we want to start here?
Oh, that's a great Deftones. I'm a huge Deftones fan, Raina.
And we're going to bring that one up. Is this in 1 through 10 for you? Like 1 is number 1 and through 10?
Yeah, you know, I agonize over the order. And then eventually I get to a point where I'm just like, send.
Yeah.
Because it might change.
I'm done talking about it. I'm done thinking about it. Just
go. I interviewed Chino from Deftones this afternoon.
What?
It's not out yet, obviously, but I mentioned to him that this was my number
breaking news
on the countdown, and he was talking about how much he loves Duran Duran and how fun this song was to cover because it's such a weird song.
Because it was from a Duran Duran like tribute album, right?
Yeah.
The cover?
Yeah.
I think it may have appeared on one, but it was on their B-sides and rarities album.
Okay.
And then I think it was re-released on like a cover. It's been on a few things, but. We were talking about just how cool the original song is, and then how they really.
So I have both of them right here. So why don't we play them?
Okay.
Which one should I do first?
Do the
original. Yeah.
All right. So here's the Duran Duran original, The Chauffeur.
Glides are moving. Hold sit beside me, so new and charming. Sweating dewdrops glisten fresh in your side.
That's like,
If you've never heard the Deftones cover, maybe you can just already hear what they're going to
yeah,
do.
The
absolutely.
vocals, for sure.
yeah, the vocals are
Oh.
spot on. But that 80s like Halloween or like, Michael Myers, like, I feel like I'm being chased
What I
down a
said-
dark alley.
Yeah, what I said to Gino today was like, that song almost feels like when you hear the Duran Duran cover, you're like, this feels like an uncoverable song. Like, it's so strange.
I agree with that.
So
for
much
sure.
of the 80s feels untouchable because the instrumentation and technology is so specific. And then what you do there is dash it to the floor and make the Deftones cover.
Yeah.
And the Deftones, like, their thing is just these, like, huge layers of sound. Not like a wall of sound, but like a soundscape kind of thing.
Yeah,
almost.
sure,
Like,
yeah,
there's so much happening. And this, it's so sparse.
Yeah.
So here is now the flip of that is here's the Deftones version of The Chauffeur.
Out on the top planes, the glides are moving, all looking for a new place to drive. You sit beside me, so newly charming, sweating dewdrops glisten fresh in your side, and the sun drips down, bedding up me behind the front of your dress, all shadowy line, and the droning engine throbs into.
It's just like, thank you for the idea. We're going to take that to where it belongs.
It's so good.
It is really good.
Like,
Yeah.
I've heard it a million times, and I'm like, oh my god.
And especially, actually, I'm putting them back to back. It's like, oh, yes.
Yeah. It's they're so good.
I love examples of this because it does remind you what an outstanding vocalist Chino is.
Oh my god.
If you maybe only came to the Deftones in the mid-late 90s, even before White Pony, which fortunately they were quite big in Rochester, New York, growing up. So we actually thought they were an East Coast band for years because they played Rochester so many times. But it turns out that WBER just was a very, very early supporter of them.
Sure, absolutely.
So like those early records are very noisy, very screamy. And then when you actually can strip down and hear Chino sing, you're just like, oh, he's doing that the whole time back there.
Totally.
I call them a gateway metal band. They're a metal band for people who say, oh, I don't like metal. I'm like, yeah, but you're going to like White Pony.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So continuing on your list, Raina.
Yes. Next, this one. I mean, this was going to be on this list. It was one of the automatic. Like, this is going to be on here.
Shatner.
Some people, think this is a little goofy. I think that William Shatner's version, when I think of the song Common People, this might sound like sacrilege, but when I think of the song Common People, I think of William Shatner's version before.
That's awesome. And that would be why it makes the list.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll stand on that rock with you, Raina. Absolutely. And I'm a huge Pulp fan, but like Shatner's Common People, again, take a cover, make it yours.
Yeah, it's the sneer in his voice.
Yes,
Maybe because he's an actor, but like the way he sings it, he's like, he hates her in like a way that is, like he doesn't hate her. Sorry, that's a little harsh, but he's judging her. And it's really, I don't know. There's something about how funny and mean it is that I just love.
And so does Jarvis when Jarvis sings it. They're sneering slightly differently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. And I feel like William Shatner's like kind of just an underrated cover guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep on?
Yeah, just keep flying down the list.
I mean, Nirvana, there's lots of contempt. Thank you, Amanda, in the chat. Contempt is the word I was looking for. That's the perfect word.
Throw that right up on the screen right there.
Contempt.
Sorry, Dan, you're just getting contempt faced.
No, it's fine.
I mean, so Nirvana, there's lots of covers. I think Man Who Sold the World would be a maybe not like a shoe-in for the top 10, but I wouldn't be like, that surprised if it ended up in the top 10 of the actual countdown. But I love Kurt Cobain's voice in this cover of Lake of Fire. It's so crunchy. It's so it's just, again, I think of this version before I think of the Meat Puppets version.
I think a lot of us got introduced to the Meat Puppets at an age through that performance, and that was on purpose. Cobain wanted to highlight his friends in this amazing band called the Meat Puppets, and all of us teenagers or whatever heard it. We're like, "Who are these?" And we all went out and bought Too High to Die.
Are we ready to do this? Are we going to do this? All right, Raina, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Ready? All right.
Is it a tainted love question?
It's a Lake of Fire thing.
Oh, okay.
There were rules, Raina. There were rules on the website that said you couldn't have the original artist on the song, and the brothers Kirkwood play on Lake of Fire. What are we doing?
I didn't really know that. So
nobody knows that except us, Nate. And like I'm with Nate's a stickler for the rules, and I'm with Nate on rules.
I'm not. This is the whole thing. I've been going nuts about this. They're stupid. The rules are stupid, and this is why I'm so angry. Because, all right, I wanted to put "Walk This Way" on my goddamn list. That's all this comes down to, okay?
And you couldn't?
And because I couldn't, because it is singled out in the rules specifically, you can't have "Walk This Way" because the original artist. And then they play fucking John Prine singing backup on songs. You got fucking Roy Orbison singing with Katie Lang. God damn it, the whole world's going crazy, and I can't get "Walk This Way."
Yeah,
Nate Dogg the Fourth is saying, "You tell him, Nate."
I didn't read the rules at all, so that's very on par. What have we learned, Raina, in the world of radio? No one reads.
No one reads rules. And Dan has the right idea. If you don't read the rules, you can't break the rules. So
right.
I feel like Walter and the Big Lebowski during this entire countdown. Rules. Come on.
Oh my God.
You were over the line, Smokey.
Over the line. This is not Vietnam. There are rules.
Yeah. The rules were like hotly debated. Just, I'm sure you guys know this, but it was like there were many drafts of the rules. There were many meetings about the rules. I don't know if everyone agreed, even at the end, that the rules were the right rules, but we had to decide on something.
Sure.
And I think at the end of the day, we were also like, well, if something comes in and we don't know how to fit into the rules, we can figure it out. But I'm just sorry, Nate.
I'm just teasing.
Lots of great stuff coming in here. Raina with the wisdom. If you don't read the rules, you can't break the rules.
I'm going to use that in court one day.
Yeah.
I forget who it was.
Defense, right? That's fine.
World Cafe host Shane Duras once said.
Yes.
That's how I'm out. That's how I'm free.
Someone said to me, they were like, "It's 2025 and you think people are following the rules?" I was like, fair. It's fair.
Or reading. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, no one's reading the fine print. Okay, so then we have Soft Cell, Tainted Love. I mean, again, another one that I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up in like the top 10, top 20 of the
I think I'll be in the top 5.
It could be in the top 5. When my very first CD I ever owned that wasn't from a Mad magazine was from a sampler CD that I got with a pizza, and Tainted Love. This cover was on it, and I was like, this song is the coolest song I've ever heard, and it's always held a special place for me. I just think, I mean, again, it's one of those covers where they made it their own. Gloria Jones, sure, her version's good too, but this one, it feels to me like a Soft Cell song.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then we got Mad World. Interestingly, if real heads know that on my list of best songs of all time, a few years ago, I had Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World as my number one song. Wow. And they did not make this list. A cover of them made it. Mad World, totally pared back, very quiet and haunting. And I think probably the first time I heard it was in Donnie Darko.
Yep. I think that's the first time anyone.
I think movies are the biggest contributor of this whole list.
Yeah, like I think that is true. Like there's so many of these as we're going through it. Now that I'm actually talking about it, and I wasn't really thinking about this when I was making this list as clearly, I guess, is that where and how I heard them really helped me make my decisions.
Agreed. Yeah, I had that same revelation when I had my list. Almost all of them were movies, but some of them were also like a point in time, and it was very like, you know, kind of it framed that moment for me forever.
Yeah. I mean, the Hurdy Gurdy Man cover by Butthole Surfers, I did not see in the movie, but I do remember hearing it for the first time and being like, holy crap, is that Hurdy Gurdy Man? And just being thrilled by it. And this was like, you know, I'll admit, I didn't hear this cover until maybe like 5 years ago. That was the first time I heard it. And I was just like, I was obsessed with it. And I obviously knew the original song, but I became obsessed with this weird Butthole Surfers version. I mean, I love the Butthole Surfers. So I felt like it would be fun to include them. This is one of those ones where I actually did hear it when it aired. I think I turned the radio on like 2 minutes before it played, the morning that it played on the countdown, and I was so excited. But it was pretty low down. It was like 745.
But again, made the list.
I was surprised it made the list.
It counts.
Oh yeah. I love this. I love this cover as well, Ray. When I saw this on your list, I was like, oh, right on, because this song, even the original version, is terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
And you don't realize that until you hear it in the movie Zodiac. When I heard it in the movie Zodiac, I was like, this is way scary, because that Donovan record played large in my upbringing, and to hear it in that context. And then when I heard, I'm like you, I didn't hear the Butthole Surfers cover till maybe several years ago, and I heard it, and my first thought was like, absolutely tracks that band of like Dayglow acid freaks would cover this song.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so weird. So I mean, Donovan has a lot of weird stuff. If you like take it out of its like
absolutely
habitat, think about it.
Totally.
Yeah. Number 7. This could have been higher, but I decided to put it where it is. Look, when I was in 7th grade, Limp Bizkit was my favorite band.
Sure.
Significant Other was like the first CD where I remember being like, I have my own identity now. I'm not listening to just my parents' music or like this dance stuff that my friends are listening to. I'm like, I like Limp Bizkit. They rock. And Faith, I personally, I prefer this song to its cover to the original, and I love it. Like, I think it's so much fun. When I would see them live this past spring, they played it. I lost my mind. It was awesome. I love when he just starts screaming.
It's a wonderful, reckless abandon version. Again, almost like to the Joe Cocker commentary before. They were like, dude, just do like lots of drugs, and then we're going to cover this song, but we're only going to tell you like 5 minutes before we go live. And they're like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, it's great.
I got to tell you. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, I know some people in the chat, in the Discord, on Blue Sky, do not agree with me on Faith.
No, we've got people here saying, here's Amanda saying she prefers it too.
Thank you, Amanda. Amanda, you get me.
And then someone did say that you were the one responsible for the whiplash between Faith and I Only Have Eyes for You.
I also figured if there was ever going to be a chance of me getting Limp Bizkit on XPN, this was going to be it. I had to do it.
What I was going to say is I recently went off. Went off? That's weird. No, I recently went off because those first 2 Limp Bizkit albums are fucking great. And we all like them, and everybody has to fucking admit it, okay? Because they were fucking good. And sure, it got a little corny after a while. I get it. But like, nah, man, give it up for Limp Bizkit. Like, seriously.
When I saw them, they played Break Stuff twice. They played it at the beginning, and it was raining. Not enough people were out there, and then they played it at the end when the rain stopped and everyone came back. And I was
that is how you know how to make the people happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear that the track they released this year, the Morgan Wallen song?
No, I think I avoided that.
It's good. It's probably going to end up in my top 25.
One of the greatest podcast episodes I've ever heard in my life was the 60 Songs That Explain the 90s episode on Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff. I was driving, and for 45, 60 minutes, I did not stop laughing, because whenever someone does a deep dive and tries to explain Limp Bizkit as like seriously, I'm laughing both because it's ironic and also because I'm like, they're so right. Like, yeah, they were huge.
Yeah.
I was a junior senior in high school when those records came out, and it was everywhere. Randy, you and I grew up in different countries, but not that far from each other.
Yeah.
So like there was something in that Rust Belty flannel. Like we were still wearing flannel, we were still smoking cloves, and Limp Bizkit was on the radio.
It was awesome, and it was so dumb. Like if you go back and listen to those, like those records are great, but like all the songs are just like, I'm having a bad day, you owe me money. Like it's so stupid, and it's awesome.
It was perfect for the age group. They knew their demographic.
Yeah, exactly. I bought and lost a red Yankees hat just to go to that show.
My favorite comment I've heard was that I can't believe someone did worse damage for the red baseball hat than Fred Durst.
Yeah.
So that's true. Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Okay, so next.
Yeah, let's
Pursuit of Happiness. This cover is gorgeous. I love the live. It's the live cover. I don't even know if there is not a non-live cover, but the live cover is beautiful. She takes the song and completely transforms it. I love the original song, actually. I think it's fun. But like you hear it in a completely different way. Like she fills it with like this like yearning and like it's beautiful when Lissy does it. Again, another cover that I first saw in a movie. There's a movie by a Canadian filmmaker named Matt Johnson, and it's called The Dirties. And there's a scene where they're riding a bike, and this cover came on, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is that? Like, who is that?" And I went and found it, and it's just, I love it. And then we have Log Driver's Waltz. So this is one for the Canadians out there.
Nice.
So Log Driver's Waltz. I'm not even sure who originally wrote this. I probably should have checked that. But it's like kind of like a folk song. Actually, I think it's it could be the McGarrigles who did it. But there was a cartoon that went with it that we saw when we were kids in Canada.
Wade Hemsworth.
Oh, was it? Wait, who wrote it?
That's who wrote it.
I think maybe it was performed by...
Written and composed by Wade Hemsworth. And again, it's on the internet, so it has to be right.
Right. The performance, though, that goes with like the film that like the cartoon film that like I feel like every Canadian child was mandated to watch at some point. I feel like it may have been one of the McGarrigles or both.
Yeah, Kate and Anna both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and
the animated adaptation.
Yeah, and it's basically a song about wanting to marry a log driver. And float away with him instead of what your parents want you to do, which is like marry a doctor or a lawyer. And this cover is done by the Hidden Cameras, and the singer of the Hidden Cameras is gay, and he doesn't change the genders in the song, and it turns it into this like really, especially because it's a song we all kind of grew up hearing. It kind of turns it a little bit, and it just becomes like this really beautiful kind of love song in a way that feels like a real song when he sings it. If you don't know the Log Driver's Waltz, go watch the cartoon. It's so cute. And then go listen to this cover because it rocks. And then my last one, and this I think is going to be way up there on the XPN one too. I think this is like one where the Venn diagram overlaps. Charles Bradley changes. I still like get teary-eyed when I hear him sing this song. I've seen him do it in person. I've seen him, I've listened to it a million times on the radio and played it on the radio, and it's still just...
Gets you.
It gets you. He's got one of those voices. He has it.
Yeah. I think a lot of Sabbath covers end up sometimes eclipsing the original versions of Sabbath, because Sabbath is such a formula. And anyone who just steps outside that box and does a little something different and changes this, like it changes a Sabbath ballad, which didn't always land the best. But when someone like when the Screaming Eagle Assault does it, then it's just, you listen, you're just like, it's yours now. It's like when Bob Dylan. Yeah, it's like when Dylan said to Hendrix, "Oh, I think Watchtower's yours now." Like, I feel like Sabbath just turned to Charles Bradley, like, we're done.
That was also said of the #1 song on my list, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I love you using the Hidden Cameras to a really, really sort of unsung Canadian band and largely unknown here, unless you were like in college radio in the late 90s or eearly aughts.
Yeah, so they are known here. Okay, a little bit.
Again, because I was in college radio in the early aughts, so I was like, I remember that band.
I want to tell you the most interesting factoid I learned following the conversation in the Discord is, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but Raina had to say 885 numbers into a microphone.
That is true.
Oh my God.
I said every single number for the countdown. And it took me...
Wow.
What were you
Did you
gonna
do
say?
it previous years too, or do they use you in all years? Or
So we did, the first time we did 885, because we did, I'm trying to think back now. In 2020, we did the 2020 greatest albums. And then I think we did, I'm trying to remember now, but whenever we started doing 885 again, that was the year they asked me to read all the numbers. And it took hours.
Yeah, better part of a day.
Yeah, it was, I think I had to split it up into 2 days because by the end of the first, like,
What
third,
number am I on?
my face hurt. My face was hurting. I was like, and then also, which was weird, was after I sent them in to.
You should have done a shot after each one, and then as you passed out, that's where you stopped.
I would be dead.
And then she went and did Joe Cocker's version of "Little Help from My Friends," and it was amazing.
Why is 756 so slurred? But once you start doing that for a while, you kind of go into like a trance.
Yes,
I did miss a few numbers, which was weird. Like when I sent them in, they were like, "Hey, you missed like 668." Or like I would just keep.
I think I would have just gotten rapid fire after a while, but like 510, 512, 515.
Well, and here's the
like
other
an
thing.
auctioneer, just start firing them off.
I gave them 2 takes of each one.
Oh my God!
I wanted them to have options.
1770.
Yeah.
So
it'd be like that was like 545, 545, 545, and it'd be like two different ways of reading.
Oh my gosh, that's so great! Hey, you sound just like
not AI.
That's amazing.
It's never going to be AI. I promise.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Well, Raina, thank you so much.
Someone has to do it.
That is true. Someone has to do it.
And thank you for every time you shout out the Discord on air, because our membership, like, it's just like, welcome. It's like, oh,
I'm so glad.
And then Nicole and Amanda, who are in the chat, are the other 2 mods in there. And I normally will try to send a message out like, oh my God, keep an eye out. There's randos coming in.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad. It's so fun. And thanks for, setting that up and moderating it and doing all of that. Like, it's so cool. And I feel like, we talk a lot about how social media has changed and how it's gotten harder to do that real-time communication with people, like with listeners. And it's such a great solution to let us all talk to each other, especially during stuff like this.
This is super cool. And then this thing wraps up tomorrow, right?
It does. I'm on from 2 to 4. I think that I start getting into the hundreds, or like the higher hundreds, or maybe even higher than that. I can't remember. I have to look and do my prep. But we're wrapping up tomorrow.
So everybody's got to tune in.
Yes,
and see who reigns victorious in the top 10. But thank you, Raina, for, and again, such incredible interviews that you do too. For the Weird Al Yankovic interview is still one of my favorites, and you've had a bunch of great ones recently too. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it has been really wild this year. It's been busy and great, and I feel very lucky.
I got a guest to put on your radar, and he's coming to town in January.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Roddy Bottom from Faith No More and Imperial Teen just released a memoir called The Royal We. And I literally picked it up to read it and then finished it in one sitting because I could not put it down.
I got to read that.
Wow.
I'm a huge Faith No More fan.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. It's great. It's absolutely great.
I will check it out. I feel like I don't read enough music memoirs. I just read Nico Case's before I interviewed her.
Isn't it beautiful?
Like one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. I bought it for 2 different people for Christmas.
Yeah. Wow. I cried. Like there's crying moments.
Like 3 times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I'm such a huge, and like honorary Canadian, and like, you know, she's one of those people that like her music has been in so many different places of my adult life that like to read her story, I was just like, oh God, I have to lie down.
Yeah, and her writing, it's like her writing in prose is so much like her lyric writing, where it's like these nature metaphors that are. Go read it, everybody.
Oh
Go
my
get
gosh.
that.
We could do a whole episode on the book.
Holiday present. If you're giving away presents at this time of year, it might be a good idea for that. Too.
We'll start a book club in the Discord.
There you go.
I'll start the channel.
That would actually
That's a good idea.
That would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Actually, phenomenal idea. Well,
Nate
Raina,
needs
thank
more
you
things to
again
do.
for hopping on tonight.
Thanks, Raina.
This was awesome. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
list, and can't wait to tune in tomorrow to see where things land.
Same here. I actually haven't read it all yet, so I don't know what's happening. I'm excited to find out.
Love it, love it, love it. Cool. Thank you so much, Raina.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
So there's Raina Duras. And then people are also saying good call with the book club, Nate.
It's on you, Nicole. You can run it. You can run it like you run album of the week.
Thanks for the rec. Love Nico. All right, so this is where we're going to transition to. We'll get into our picks. Everyone loved this lineup. We're going to do this one. We talked about this beforehand, and everyone hated it, but I knew I needed to bring it up at some point. It does look like something out of like either the Rat Pack or a Steven. What was that guy who did like Ocean's 11? It just seems like it would be like. But now we're going to go through ours. We're going to have to cut it a little bit because we're already well into this. So let's just talk about our top number ones, and then we'll see if we can maybe close things out with one additional. But Nate, before we bring up your list, or any of our lists for that matter, talk to us about your number one, and then I'm going to play it here.
Who, me? Okay. Yeah. So my number one, actually.
3.0.
Yeah. That me. Oh, okay. That Nate. My number one actually is not readily known as a cover. It is Harry Nilsson's "Without You," and it actually played today at number 143. And then Lenny Kravitz's "American Woman" played after that, which is just the most criminal fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, and shut down the fucking countdown, you dumb listeners. You don't know what you're listening to.
Wow.
Anyway,
Nate,
sorry.
I'm
fucking angry about it. Anyway, so it's not even a good cover. Like American Woman, get out of here.
I will agree with you. That is exactly where I don't want my cover songs.
No,
we'll talk about that in a second.
Out of here with this garbage. Anyway, so "Without You," Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson was a favorite of my dad's. One of my dad's favorite albums was Nilsson Schmielsen. It's how I got. I mean, like my dad used to wake me up every day singing "Gotta Get Up," and he can't sing, so I would just hear him like Harry Nilsson is baked into my soul. All right, Harry Nilsson wrote for the Monkees. I'm a big Monkees fan. Mm-hmm. Like there's just Harry is in my life, and "Without You" is like one of the most beautiful, haunting, epic songs ever written. And one of the craziest things about it is that it's a cover of a very shitty Badfinger song.
Well, here I got both of them, so let's play some Harry Nilsson first. Do you want to give it like a good radio intro?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, coming up right next on this one, this is Harry Nilsson. Wait, are you playing Harry first? Or
yeah.
Okay. Coming up right now on your next favorite band, this is Harry Nilsson with "Without You."
No, I can't forget this evening or your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. No, I can't forget tomorrow.
So this is one of the ones that I didn't recognize on title, and then when I played it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I know this one."
Of course, I know this song. Yeah, right.
My mom and dad and whatnot, and
so they have a when you submit your ballots for the countdown, you have to like kind of talk about your number one. And one of the things I said in my thing, like I wrote a whole bunch because I'm a very verbose person, but one of the things I said is like the original is so incredibly forgettable but an absolute master like Harry can take it and it becomes like something ethereal, you know, and the emotion in the crescendo of this song when Harry starts screaming is just.
And also, when I played it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the natiest song that ever nated." Because what's that other guy that you love that does all the Celine Dion songs and the Meatloaf songs?
Oh, Jim Steinman.
Yeah, this is right in that same fucking ballpark. I was just like, "Holy smokes, Nate really likes himself some power ballad."
It's kind of true. You kind of got to.
And I mean, honestly, this is also stuff that just would be squarely on Broadway. Like, this is stuff that should be, you know, just so good in that way of like just write a whole musical around this one song. It would bring the house down.
Oh yeah.
Well, this version, you're right. The Badfinger thing is like disaster show central. Let's bring that up for a quick second here. Here's the Badfinger version of this same song.
It's like they couldn't even be bothered.
That is the worst bass recording I think I've ever heard.
And I think it's remastered.
Well, I can't forget this evening and your
I mean, he's a great singer, don't get me wrong, but
this is, I mean, it's almost comically not where the other one landed. And I think we have a bunch of those on our lists where, as we started going through it, I'm like, wait, what? Like, the original is in this. I don't even know how the person who covered it even conceived of where it could have gotten to. Like, at least the Duran Duran song was solid, and then the Deftones made it exceptional. These are in this, like, why would you ever think you would want to cover this song?
I can see what about this song would have appealed to Harry. Because it moves, it does crescendo. They do. We're shitting on the song at the beginning because the beginning of the song starts very badly, but as it moves into the chorus and everything, here we go.
No.
But it's. I imagine Harry heard that and said like, no, let me do that right.
Well, it's kind of like the way I was referencing the Bob Dylan stuff, where it would be like, all right, I see where you were going. You're a genius, but you can't sing where this song needs to get to. Let me cover it for you. And I think that's why he's so voluminous on the list as far as the amount of times he's been covered.
Well, what's funny about the Badfinger version is the Badfinger version sounds like the bad cover of Harry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That would be like when you'd be like, "Oh, what did you do? You ruined the song." But wait, no, you're the writer of the song. But just in the sake of time here, Dan, let's switch to your list. Let's talk about your number one.
My number one is Devo's cover of the Rolling Stones. I Can't Get No Satisfaction. I remember where I was the first time I heard this song. They played it on within a few weeks. Actually, there were two main occurrences of this song. They played it on WBER in Rochester. It was just randomly on, and I just remember sitting there thinking, like, what is happening? Right here. The whole drum beat of everything, and the way that Mark sings it, and you're just like, what is happening?
So I'm going to do this one a little in reverse, just for the sake of. Just to remind people, a lot of people are going to know the Rolling Stones, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Let's just remind you what that one sounds like, and then we'll bring it to Devo. I mean, practically like the anthem of what, the 60s? I mean, like just insanely cool, insanely like, you know, off the tracks.
Got some tambo in there. Got some tambo.
Right. You're probably on drugs, but your parents don't know it yet. Your hair's growing too long, and this is all stuff. And then Devo comes along and says, "Oh wait, hold my beer." Caught up in the sheer genius of this. It's so good.
That's Mothersbaugh's dad right there as the general. They made a lot of films, a lot of weird art films. The version of this song, the first time I heard it, it was one of the many. I've said this so many times on my show and on other shows. It was one of those moments for me where I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
I didn't know you could take a beloved anthem like Satisfaction by the Stones with a killer guitar riff and great vocals and be like, what if we threw it on the floor and glued it back together?
Kind of like that guy's guitar,
wrong.
like tape it back together with electric tape.
Well, so much of the sound of Devo were things that they created themselves because like those things didn't exist.
Right.
Like, you know, like those instruments didn't exist. And then I remember a few weeks later seeing some like best of Saturday Night Live compilation on TV or on a video or something like that.
25th anniversary. That's what I was just gonna say. Is when
well, no, this would have been in 25th anniversary would have been in
25 years ago.
Was it? Yeah. So that would be what, 2000? No. This was long before that. not 25th. I was Proto Dan. I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, it was when I was in high school.
But it came on like I caught a clip of Devo doing that because I didn't know what they looked like. At that point, I knew two things about Devo. I knew Whip It and I knew this weird Satisfaction cover. And then I saw what they looked like on TV, and I was just like, again, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could be such a like typical like science club looking nerd.
Yep.
And be a punk. Like I didn't know that at the time because no one was telling me that. And I think I went out later. I bought Greatest Hits and Greatest Misses by Devo, and I was in. I was a Devo head for the rest of my life.
So Ross would like to know if that was the direct inspiration for the finale of Revenge of the Nerds. It has to be, yeah,
10,000%.
Yeah. Because like Devo, and I've just recently, I finally got around to watching the Devo documentary that's on streaming. I highly recommend it for anyone who even has a passing interest in Devo because they were next level. And
they totally were. Because you can even tell they're not just effing with it because they're knuckleheads. They actually know what the hell they're doing, and they're homaging it in their way.
But they're like, what if we turn this into like that weird? So much of Devo very well could have been a college like Dadaist performance art project.
Absolutely,
except that it ended up being a band that just happened to get signed. It was, you know, like at times, unfortunately to them, that they were given that, you know, that they had so much success with a song like Whip It, and then had to spend the rest of they weren't into making commercial music. They were more like the Residents than they were like anything else.
100%.
But yeah, that song, like to me, when I think of covers and transformative covers and like things, you're just like, oh God, like Devo's Satisfaction. And if that's not in the top 10 for XPN, then we've all done it wrong.
Something's wrong, yeah. And I think here something is rotten in Denmark. I'm just going to go right into it here. I decided to go with Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
Yes.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole.
So I was familiar enough I was a big fan of Nine Inch Nails. And so when this came out, this is again where I think the testament up to why it would be perhaps the best cover of all time was done so well that I thought it was an original and not a cover of a song that I was arguably familiar with.
Oh, you already knew it.
Yeah. Because it was so unique and different. It's not so different if you go back. I do have it here to play, but like it's just, he just owned it. Like it was just his. And again, Trent Reznor does have that same quote we were talking about before where he just said, that's Johnny's song now.
Yep.
But really love it. I think too there's an element to, I read some people's kind of reviews of both of them, and there was an element to some people's take on it where just the age in Johnny Cash's voice brings a whole other kind of journey, and you know the story that you your filling in the blanks of this song is just so much more powerful because of the wisdom and the age of the person who's singing that he's conveying just with his voice. So
this whole American recording series that he did with Rick Rubin is like, if you have to go out as an American icon, let those kind of recordings be the last thing you ever do.
Yeah.
His cover of there's a Tom Petty cover. There's a bunch of covers on those recordings. And I mean, the Heartbreakers are largely the backing band, I think, on the first American Recordings album. Flea's on it. I remember hearing a story of him where he was just like, he couldn't do it right because he was in a room with Johnny Cash. But yeah, that's an amazing cover. I remember when I heard it the first time, you thinking like, oh, this makes sense.
I for the first time, I had never heard it before, but his cover of, it was an outtake from the sessions, his cover of Cat Stevens' Father and Son with Fiona Apple played on the countdown the other day, and I literally had to shut the door of my office because I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah,
it's fucking beautiful.
So I think that song should be in the top 10, or at least be up there.
Oh, top 3. Like I legitimately believe that if not number 1, like I legitimately believe that it's going to come down to like Hallelujah, Hurt, and All Along the Watchtower.
Yeah, I could see that. I think we mark it right now. We mark Nate's words right now.
Yeah,
nice.
Mark it, dude.
Yeah. So Dan, I'm gonna bring up your list. Let's rip through it, and then we'll laser in on one extra one. Yeah. So other than Devo, just take us quickly through it, and if you do, can kind of pick, like just layer in there maybe how you decided to kind of cull it down.
Oh god. Okay, so we'll rip it. I had a different Clash cover. They ended on "Police on My Back," which is a phenomenal cover. I did "Police and Thieves." It's a cover of a Junior Mervyn song. It's an old reggae tune. They did it again in their way. It's very sparse, very very sharp on the beat. It's a great cover. The Sunday's Wild Horses. That song has been just in my head since the first time I heard it. Again on WBER in Rochester. The Pixies cover of Head On, which is on their final album of Real Pixies albums. I'll say it. That's on Trompe Le Monde. That's a cover of Jesus and Mary Chain.
Neat.
Phenomenal song.
Played today. 180.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, 180.
Great song. Yeah. The Man Who Sold the World. Look, I'm 45, and so when Nirvana Unplugged came out, I was in high school. I was in middle school, and it was a huge record.
Yep.
And I was familiar with this Bowie song because I'd heard it before, but it's a haunting song on the Bowie album, and it's even more haunting on the Nirvana Unplugged record. Faith No More is easy. This is my one. I've talked about transformative covers this whole show. This is my one where I'm like, except when you don't.
Yeah.
I was the same way. That's the reason why it didn't make my list, because it wasn't transformative enough.
I made it because a band like Faith No More, at the time that they recorded this song, talk about out of left field. And like totally. We talked with Raina about how great a singer Chino is. We all knew that Mike Patton could do the vocal calisthenics that he could do. But for him to just nail in a 100% on the note cover of a Commodore song.
Yep.
And you look up and you're just like, oh, of course this guy loves R&B. Like, this guy probably loves R&B more than he loves art metal. Like, so off you go. Sort of in conjunction with Phil's number one cover, I think Nine Inch Nails' cover of Dead Souls, which is a Joy Division song, on the Crow soundtrack. And everyone my age is just like, a little part of your heart just went pitter-patter when I said the Crow soundtrack.
Yep.
One of the greatest soundtracks ever to exist.
100%.
And
Dead Souls was 353, by the way.
Great. This song, a lot of the ones on my list ended up being songs that I felt were, if not superior, like hit something that maybe even the original version didn't hit. And I think Nine Inch Nails' cover of Dead Souls is superior to the Joy Division version.
Mm-hmm.
REM's Superman. Most people don't know that's a cover. Yep. I at times forget the name of the original band that did it. The Click, but REM made it their own. And also, I love this one is because Mike Mills has a lot of the lead vocal
Mhm.
on it, and Mike Mills is like one of the greatest not secret weapons of REM.
Not secret.
Because Michael Stipe is an amazing vocalist. You let that guy just caterwaul and do what he needs to do, but you got someone under him, and that person can only be Mike Mills.
Yep.
Because if you think of all your classic REM songs, those call and response vocals and stuff like that, it's not REM without Mike Mills's vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, this one ended up on the countdown, which I did not expect, but it makes sense.
746.
It was played on XPN a bit when it came out. Famed fingerstyle guitarist Leo Kutke and Mike Gordon, the bass player for Fish, have made a couple of records together, and they're outstanding, absolutely outstanding records. And their cover of Sweet Emotion, it starts and you just chuckle because you're just like, this is so funny. They're doing Aerosmith, and then you realize like, oh God, this is really, really good. Mike Gordon delivers the verses in just a Mike Gordon deadpan right there, and it's fantastic. And I'm again so surprised that it made the countdown at all. And I had to throw in a number 10 because the list has to end somewhere. Nate, stop it. No, Nate, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's fine. Number 10, the Who's cover of Young Man Blues. Why am I blanking? Mose Allison. Mose Allison is the original performer of Young Man's Blues. It's a kind of a piano shuffle song originally, and the Who just rip it live. That's their version on Live at Leeds is just it's phenomenal.
And that played. I don't know if it was today or last night. That was 204.
Great. So I've got some stuff kind of up there.
You're on there.
You got street cred. So we have to kind of transition us to Nate's list. I wanted to hear Superman, and Nate picked the Sweet Emotion song. You get to choose which one we use here.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Play the Sweet Emotion song because most people have probably not heard it.
Love it.
It's a great opening. When they start singing too, it's just like, because you'll listen to this and be like, what is this? Just a general sort of rootsy, jangly opening.
Yeah, kind of like
start going,
like bluegrass version of Sweet Emotion or something.
Well, no, you might not even if you don't know the song title, you're just like, all right, what are they doing here? This is a good groove. And then when they start singing, which will be 3 to 4 minutes from now.
I was gonna say we won't make it. But there you go. Do yourself a favor and go check out that track.
Yeah, it's great. And Nate was peering at me behind the thing because off record we had been talking about rules that we had to make about lists, and one of mine that I made for myself, I was like, I can't include any Fish covers because to me, Fish does outstanding covers. It's kind of a large part of what they are as a band. So I had to just knock it all out. And then Nate's like, well, you technically did. And I'm like, well, no, Nate, I technically didn't. I didn't, because that's not Fish. That is Mike Gordon doing a different endeavor with famed folk fingerstyle guitarist Leo Kutke.
That's fine.
He can sleep well at night on that one, Nate.
Oh, I sleep fine.
And we'll bring up your list, Nate. We obviously already know your number 1. Take it. And number 2, should we have the Hallelujah conversation?
Yeah, do that, and then I'll go through the list.
So one of my rules was just simply that it needed to be the best version.
With no Hallelujah.
And to me, the better version of this song is sung by Puddle's Pity Party. And I'm not even joking.
Just shut your stream off right now. Sit down. Good God.
Go check it out.
I've heard it. Get out of here.
No, and I listen, I do love Jeff Buckley, and I do love that version, but it's almost too covered for me. It's not unique enough, and it's not it's not distinct enough. It is the best one of that
That's
giant pile
not
of that
Jeff's
song.
fault.
I was just
Jeff
gonna
did a
say.
cover so good that everyone had to get in line. Rufus Wainwright's cover, I think, is also very much up there as well, of Hallelujah. There's a whole book written by a guy named James Campion. He's from New York. I've met him a few times, and he wrote it all about just the song Hallelujah and all the versions. It's a very cool book.
Did he do an interview too? Because I heard an interview with somebody who broke it down. I got to imagine it was him.
It was probably him. Yeah. He's written a lot of great books. He wrote a great book on Prince. He's a great, great writer.
Just said goodbye, Philip.
Nate's having a hard time. Ross is excommunicated. Phil, this is all going great.
So
what could go
here's the deal. All right. So Buckley's Hallelujah is a cover of a cover. It is a cover of the John Cale version. And he fucking, that should distill things. That should make things worse. But instead, what he did was create the definitive version of a song twice removed.
Yeah.
And like that's and it's solely based on like you can slow it down. You can mimic the guitar, you can do whatever you want, but you will not have Jeff Buckley's voice. Yeah. And so like it's just it's almost as like the song was written in the stars for Jeff to find at some point and do. And it's absolutely incredible. There's a much like that book, there's an incredible episode of Malcolm Gladwell's Revisionist History, all just on Hallelujah.
True.
And check that out. Nina Simone, Here Comes the Sun. I'm somebody who does not like when people cover the Beatles, but there are times when people cover the list. I know, but that's what I was going to get at. There are times when people cover the Beatles where I think that they do it better than the Beatles, and this is one of them. Her voice, and not just her voice, but the sonic bed underneath it, just puts me in the warmth of the sun. That played today, I think, or yesterday or today. Graham Parsons, Emmylou Harris, Love Hurts. I needed Graham on here somehow. And obviously it had to have been this. I don't know why I even thought it would have been anything other than this. I'm a big kind of cosmic country guy. The phrase alt country gets thrown around, obviously.
Boot gaze. It's called boot gaze.
Is that what it is?
Is it?
I like that.
No. Okay. I was going to say, do they do that? Do I have to fight someone?
No.
Yeah, I was like,
just Phil. I just have to fight Phil.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm gone again.
But yeah,
shot out of a cannon.
Graham Parsons, Mike Nesmith, that kind of sound of 70s cosmic country is fucking everything to me. Which of course is how I got into Uncle Tupelo, number 5 with No Depression, which was like ridiculously high on this countdown list, which does not make sense to me because it fucking spawned a subgenre of music, and it's like this literal song is responsible for I would say, I don't know, 90% of what this fucking station plays, but for some reason we're just going to pretend it's not important, whatever.
And also the name of an incredibly influential
tear tonight.
Yeah, incredibly influential digital publication as well. No Depression is massive for just I don't even like the term alt country, although it is applicable. Just the roots, modern root music, people listening to stuff from decades ago, generations ago, and making it their own. And that's the whole point of Uncle Tupelo. It's a bunch of punks who are like listening to AM radio in the Midwest. And what's on AM radio in the Midwest in the 80s, 70s, and 80s? Country music.
Yep.
So off you go.
Continuing that, I mentioned Nesmith, Mike Nesmith of the Monkees. For those who don't know, was a legitimate musician, and he wrote the song "Different Drum" that was made famous by the Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies.
Also, his mother invented Whiteout.
Whiteout, that's correct. Yes, and
we're just loaded with trivia.
And Mike Nesmith is responsible for MTV. MTV was made because of his elephant parts. Anyway,
Mike Nesmith TV.
That's right. And then that gave the Monkees their second life. So I mean, like,
That's so
turn
true.
about as fair play.
Yep.
Frente, Bizarre Love Triangle.
My first band, like my concert ever. I was probably like 6 or 7, and my parents and my brothers took them to a Monkees concert. Westbury Music Fair. Nice. So when I'm on your show, that will be my answer.
Yeah,
in the
we'll talk about that because I want to know more about that. Next one, Frente, Bizarre Love Triangle, which is not been played, and I don't think it's going to make the countdown, and that's a goddamn shame.
I'm hoping it's in like the top 50.
Maybe, but I'm not feeling good about it. But I love this song. It actually.
Here's why I think this is why I think we're right about this. It's the song we'll play at the end because both Dan and I picked it, and then we adapted because obviously we tried to each pick something different. Yeah. But this was what we both wanted to hear off your list.
And I'm going to tell you, it almost didn't make my list, but not Frente didn't almost make my list. This song didn't, because I almost picked "Open Up Your Heart and Let the Sun Shine."
Oh
in
my
from
God,
the
that
Sunday
song
morning
is
soundtrack, which is or compilation.
I play that one all the time.
It's so perfect.
It is so perfect. You're absolutely right.
Number 7 was on my long list. Absolutely. And again, like that was, it played on non-com radio in the 90s when I was listening to non-com radio.
Yeah. On that album also, I only thought of this just as you were talking about it, was Tripping Daisy has Sigmund the Sea Monster.
Yes. Yeah. I froze. Did I freeze? No, I'm there.
You're still here. You're still here, buddy.
Number 8, Lick the Tins, Can't Help Falling in Love. I have been in love with this cover almost my entire life.
Was it in a movie? I think
it
was.
Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah,
Eric Stoltz and Leah Thompson.
Yep.
Leah Thompson now playing grandmothers in the Chicken Sisters. She's a grandmother in the Chicken Sisters, and I don't feel good about that.
No,
anyway,
I'm not happy that you just shared that.
I don't like that.
We're going to edit that out in post.
But this cover's great. I texted when they announced the cover countdown, I texted this to Bruce, and I was like, Bruce Warren from WXPN, and I said, this is definitely going on my list. And he was like, this is absolute shit. And then he had to fucking play it.
Which means that it's great because like I'm a contrarian to a lot of things that Bruce says sometimes, and so for him to be like, this is crap, I'd be like, it's great, put it on the list.
Well, it's great because he only did one set, or no, he did 2 sets during the countdown on air, and during one of them he had to fucking play it.
Oh, that's even better. That is beautiful.
I love it.
I texted
the universe
him immediately too. I was like, I'm so glad that came out for you. Number 9, Elliott Smith's cover of Big Star's 13. This is another one that almost didn't make the list because I was torn between a bunch of Elliott Smith covers. His Jealous Guy is absolutely phenomenal. But 13, man, that song just lives in my soul. It's absolutely beautiful. And Elliott's kind of quiet, pained voice on it just sounds so familiar. Like it puts a nostalgia that lives in the lyrics right there in your ears. And then number 10, which is the other one that has not made the list, and I'm worried about this one too.
I wouldn't.
You don't
worry.
think? You think it's coming?
It's Philly, baby. Like it's Boys to Men are going to be.
Look, they've let me down so much. Harry Nilsson was 140 something. Anyway.
It's Boys to Men though, man. Like I don't. Yeah,
I think the other part about this was it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday is also a cover, and that's what I thought this was. And you were just out of space.
Oh.
So then when I went to go pull it up, I was like, oh wait, they also have Yesterday. A lot of Yesterday.
Yeah, this cover is just it's a cappella, and it's, oh God, is it beautiful, man.
It is
like
good.
it just
it is very good. But let's go back to that Frente track and let's take a listen to Bizarre Love Triangle.
Every time I think of you, I get a shot right through into a bolt of blue. It's no problem of mine, but it's a problem I find, living a life that I can't leave behind. There's no sense in telling me the wisdom of a fool.
It's all you need, voice, guitar, and you take this, very produced New Order song and you just take it down to its core. And Phil, you and I have kind of talked about off mic and in the mic here, like there's that certain sound of the 80s that seems like uncoverable. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You take away everything recognizable except for melody and accompaniment.
Yeah. Should somebody not know, here's what the New Order version sounded like.
every time I hear New Order, ever since the early '90s, I just think of Ewan McGregor in Train Spotting.
Oh yeah,
Every time. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's like, I have toyed many times as a musician of releasing, like, because of that Frente song and other attempts of other people have done like that, is a solo acoustic one voice cover of, like, I was going to do one that was all Depeche Mode songs. I was going to take Depeche Mode songs and a nylon string guitar and just figure out how to make them interesting. Mark Kozelek did something similar with AC/DC songs once. Mark Kozelek of Red House Painters, Sun Kill Moon. I can't find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, or maybe I dreamed it and it's not real at all.
I love that. I love that the concept there.
Yeah.
So let me bring up my list here. This was led off by, like we shared earlier, "Hurt" by Johnny Cash, covering Nine Inch Nails, and then we already talked about the Joe Cocker version of "With a Little Help from My Friends." We just mentioned Ewan McGregor in movies, and I actually put on here that from Moulin Rouge, his version of "Your Song" by Elton John.
Oh yeah.
That movie obviously chock full of covers by people, but that one in particular just always caught my ears and my heart. I just think it's such a lovely version of it, and it's just Nate, you must have an appreciation for this again, for these, like, more theatrical, like powerful versions of these songs.
I don't drink anymore, but when I used to drink, if you would catch me on a good night, you would be serenaded if we were walking down a street to the entirety of the Elephant Love medley from Moulin Rouge. It's one of my favorite things in this world. It's absolutely perfect.
Love it. But I couldn't pick that one because it's like a smattering of like 1,200 songs. Anyway, Blair Crimmins and the Hookers. Everyone who listens to the show knows how big a fan I am there. He's actually the closing show music. He plays all original music that sounds like it's from the 1920s hot jazz from Louisiana. And then he does some covers in that style. So his version of Psycho Killer is insanely cool. I was actually extremely torn. He also does Let's Dance by Bowie, and they're both amazing. But I went with Psycho Killer. Here is a double up from Dan's list. I also had Wild Horses from the Sundays on it. Hound Dog by Elvis Presley is the one track that I gave myself an exception on, because I wanted to point out it was a cover by a phenomenal female artist from that time frame, Big Mama Thornton. And so, I thought it was important to kind of point that out, and that's why it was up on this list. Obviously, it's a very, very cool. I was a big Elvis fan as a youth before I knew kind of all the other
50 million can't be wrong, my friend.
No, exactly, right. Yep. Tori Amos, which came up earlier, I think it was on Raina's list, but this Smells Like Teen Spirit version. The reason why I thought it was important to have on the list was when it came out, it was released not long after the Nirvana version, and it was like all the bros were like, "What is she doing? She's ruining the song." And I was just like, I actually think it's kind of great. So it was one of those moments where I was like, I kind of really wanted to put out there the idea that this was actually one of the best covers of all time. I missed some chat here. Moulin Rouge song 2. Amanda, what song you had El Tango de Roxanne. Gorgeous, awesome, perfect. I actually just that scene is phenomenal. The way he walks up and down steps backwards without looking. I mean, just as an actor, I think that's just genius. But anyway, and Cowboy Junkies, Sweet Jane, love the track. And then again, this was where it started to reveal to me that wait, these are from movies. Like that's from Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
And it's just such a. It comes up and it's just like so memorable to hear that music. It just brings up scenes from the movie.
A lot of Cowboy Junkies on the countdown, and it made me realize that I think, and this is just a take, that the Cowboy Junkies are our generation's Joe Cocker. Because they are so good at covering songs and making them their own.
Absolutely.
That I think their most famous stuff and the stuff that I'm most drawn to are their covers.
Yep, absolutely. And Sturgill Simpson covers The Promise. That's actually where I first heard it, was from not a movie, but a television show, The Leftovers on HBO.
That came in at 2:30. I think that played today.
Nice. It's such a cool version, because it's one of those ones where you're like, wait, is this The Promise? And he's so great. I love Sturgill. And then Ace Frehley.
Oh, yes.
New York Groove. And we're going to play a little bit of that, because what I found was some of the original, the song is actually written and performed by the band Hello. And I found that. And wait till you take a look at what this original performance used to look like. So here's New York Groove in its original format with the band Hello. I'm not even sure they're keeping on in tempo here. I don't think he's actually playing the harmonica.
I don't think anyone's playing anything.
Yeah, come on.
In. Oh, they're plugged in.
The song itself is just so goddamn good.
It's this whole era of absolutely forgotten bands, but that sound, like it's that when people talk about power pop, I'm like, this is where it came from.
Yeah.
This is where it's a whole bunch of guys who like it's 75 at this point and they're still trying to be the Beatles. And they're still trying to be,
How do you know it's 75?
Because it says 75, pop 75 behind it. Huge letters.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, so anything to kind of report out on with either or any of our lists? Any other predictions? Any other commentary we want to make?
I think they're going to break the rules more. I think they're not going to follow them at fucking all.
No.
And I think there's going to be no recourse.
much like American politics.
That's exactly right.
Yes. The one that I always love to throw my take in here about this because Phil, both you and I picked Wild Horses by the Sundays, which I think we can all agree is a far superior version to the Rolling Stones.
Harriet
version.
Wheeler's voice is just insane.
I posit that
there's like a puffy white cloud that you land on and just float around the room while she sings.
I posit that most covers of Rolling Stones songs end up being superior to the Rolling Stones version.
Wow.
And that
that's
is
like a
not to
Dylan
say,
take, like what I threw out there earlier.
That is not to say that I think the Stones versions are bad. It's just once someone else takes the source material and runs with it, you're just like, oh. And I think that's because they were such amazing songwriters and could write these great songs. So like
I don't think they're topping Sympathy for the Devil, but a lot of the other tracks I can see.
Oh no, Jane's Addiction, Sympathy for the Devil is hot. Acoustic guitar and like bongos. It's
even Guns N' Roses Sympathy screams. But it's funny you mentioned Wild Horses right after and the Stones right after I said about the rules, because the rules are the reason why I don't have what is actually my number one favorite cover of all time. And it goes back to Graham Parsons.
Aerosmith and Run DMC?
No. That would have been number two. My number one favorite cover of all time is the Flying Burrito Brothers version of Wild Horses. But because
that's a great one.
Because of their stupid fucking rules, it's not eligible because it was released before the Stones released their version. So they say it's not technically a cover.
So here, this helped me narrow down. I think it's a weird stipulation right there, but like one of the ways I narrowed down my covers list was I sort of took out that kind of classic songwriter era, like because I could have put on 5 Motown tunes on there.
Yeah.
But to me, I knocked Motown completely out because I'm like, it was a big stable. Everyone was doing each other's tunes. They were a small upstart at the time. They were just trying to get on the radio and just trying to, get in record stores. So any like Motown Stax, Chess Records kind of situation right there. I just kind of just went whoop, and moved them to the side, and it hurt me to do it because Aretha Franklin's Respect is a Sam Cooke tune, and that's going to be in the top 5. But I took it out because I'm like, they were all. It was. I used the word incestuous in the night. It was an incestuous songwriting performing situation. Everyone was on each other's stuff. I also knocked out jazz covers because I'm like, standards are standards and everyone does a great version. Like there's some great Coltrane, Coltrane's My Favorite Things is a cover. He didn't write that song, but I kind of Move those off to the wayside. And once I did that, I still had 50 songs that I had to sift
Yeah.
and that my no fish covers rule. Also, if it was more known for someone just having done it live and never actually done a proper recorded version of it, I knocked it out. So Prince's cover of Creep, I'm sorry, I know it's powerful and everyone loves it, but it's got no business being on the countdown. At me, bro.
No, we're with you. We're with you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm done. That was my Nate rant right there.
Oh yeah. Hey, we all got him. I think Phil froze, which is really funny. Oh,
Yeah.
you froze in the most awesome pose.
Nice.
It's really cool. But no, like, no, I think we're now into the area of so many votes are coming through that these songs are just like bangers. Like we're about to approach like the banger stretch, which is another reason why that Lenny Kravitz thing fucking pissed me off. Fucked up the banger list.
It's lame source material to begin with too. That's my other thing too. The guess it, like, come on. Forgettable song, if not for Kravitz's cover. Honestly, I think Kravitz actually gave that song a little juice. I think it's a forgettable, like, classic rock song. But Kravitz did it well. But I'm with you on I'm with you on the rules. I am. But also the rules. Like
the
I said,
rules are just dumb. Also,
no one read them.
There is a song on this countdown that the recorded version came out. The cover was recorded before the original came out, and I didn't even know that it was a cover. Period. So that blew me away. But "Don't You Ever" by Spoon.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that is a cover. Yeah, no, you are correct, and that's a phenomenal tune.
Yeah,
I would actually, if you want to do Spoon covers though, their cover of "I Just Don't Understand" on. They Want My Soul. That's a Judy. I think that's a Judy Collins song.
Oh yeah, Nate in the chat I just saw here said that they played Judy's Both Sides Now, which came out before Joni's. Fucking this is what I'm saying. They don't give a shit about the rules.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
This is what angers me. Just don't make the rules.
Just don't make rules.
Like you did it. You did it.
Yep. You done did it. Yeah.
You did it.
Like I said, we're all of us music nerds are perfectly capable of making our own bullshit rules.
That's right.
Like I said, I had to make rules for myself or else I wouldn't. I did no Beatles covers simply because I wanted to give some other songs that I thought were as good a chance on the countdown. But very, very close. Would have been like number 12 if I'd been able to go, was the Breeders cover of Happiness Is a One Gun.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is kind of better than the Beatles version. And the Beatles did a ton of great R&B, like their cover of Act Naturally by Buck Owen is a classic tune and would have made my list.
It's the second best version of that song, right after Gonzo from the Muppet Show.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Buck Owens version is phenomenal.
Beatles are currently tied for second with the Dead as the top artists covering other people's songs.
I hope the Dead makes it, but I think the Beatles are going to take him out in the
number
in the
one
top
right
100.
now is Linda Ronstadt with fucking 11, and that's awesome. I love that.
That is pretty awesome.
And I don't even think that counts the Stone Ponies. So let's say technically 12.
Okay. No, it's I think we all placed well this time. We'll see what happens in the top 100. I'm going to probably miss most of it. Yeah. No, I never do either. I never have my finger on the pulse of the rest of the people very well because I like all three of us would agree. We all like very odd things.
Yes, that's so true. We have our quirks.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to bring in here to close things out. Normally, we have the bed music of "It's All Over Now" by Blair Crimmins, but since he was on my list, I'm going to bring in here that the track that I had on my top 10, "Psycho Killer."
Oh, his cover of "Psycho Killer."
Yeah, it's just processing. I thought of it in the moment, so I went and grabbed it, and here we are.
Yeah. Well,
but
thanks as always, Phil, for putting this together.
Absolutely.
It helps me reconnect with you guys while being far, far away.
And thank you to the people who tuned in. The chat was phenomenal. Thank you to Wendy. Thank you to Raina. Thank you to all of WXPN for putting this on and letting us kind of like have this moment here. Hope everyone tunes in tomorrow to kind of listen into, who makes this top 100, top 50, top 25, top 10, top 5, top 3, and what's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
It's going to be Blair Crimmins and the Hookers.
It's going to be Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley. It's
gonna be Hallelujah by
not
Jeff
going to be Puddles Piddle Party. You God damn it.
Yeah.
Face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous, can't relax, can't sleep, bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, guess we say, ba 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 ba, yeah. Run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, guess we say, ba 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 ba. You better run, 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 run away. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. You start a conversation that you can't even finish. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have something to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? Psycho killer, yes you say, fa 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 fa, baby. Run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, yes.